The Atlanta Hawks were 35-6 at the Highlight Factory, Phillips Arena, in the regular season. Never lost 2 in a row at home, but they've done so here in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who took the opener on Wednesday and then handed it to the Hawks again tonight. Final score was 94-82. It wasn't that close. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they go to Cleveland for games 3 and 4. We welcome you to Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, coming to you live from Phillips Arena here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson and the King, apparently. Shaq.
What are you looking for, Chuck?
A fat lady.
Well, you can hear her singing, you just can't find her. Charles
If you're
Barkley.
looking for a fat lady, just put a wig on, baby.
What is the crown here for?
Listen, it's all about the King tonight. You know, me and Chuck talked about this, and Kenny, you double this guy, he's going to pick you apart, and he's going to get his 30 no matter what. So, you know, all these, defensive game. I think the best scheme is, hey, LeBron, if you're going to beat us, score 50 points. You double it. You know what? Sometimes, he gets the ball in the post. He's not even looking to make a move. They double him. He's picking them apart.
Shaq, I was so mad watching that game tonight because Kenny says he don't think you should we think you should let LeBron just get his 30, 35, 40. But the Atlanta Hawks were doubling him for no reason.
No reason.
Way out on the court. And Shumpert was just standing there shooting wide open shots. So was Della Dodova.
Wow, on the first try.
I just be acting, Ernie. I know these guys' names. But it's really a stupid, because LeBron's going to get 30.
No matter what.
But to get those guys going, it just makes them, because then once you start the fire, then those other guys start cheating off they won't cheat off their guy.
We'll get your comments as we go through the highlights. We should remind you that Game 3 comes your way on Sunday. We hit the air at 8 o'clock with our TNT NBA tip-off presented by Auto Trader. Then it's Game 3 of this series about 8:30 with the Cavs leading.
Is that Sunday?
That's Sunday.
And then Tuesday, we'll be in the Bahamas on Wednesday.
There we go. So the questions, DeMarre Carrol, would he play? Yes, he would. Kyrie Irving, he would not. And Kyle Korver.
You know, Ernie, first of all, this is going to be great for Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving's not playing any more this series if the Cavaliers know what they're doing.
LeBron James pulls up and knocks down that 3, and then here comes Korver.
I mean, they played well in spurts, the Atlanta Hawks. But there's 2 things I didn't know, Ernie. First,
there's more than that.
No, there's 2 things.
Okay.
I agree with you, Ernie. A lot more.
His 9-year-old coach, LeBron, didn't give him MVP, which was crazy. If he's the best player, he should have got it. Secondly, I didn't know that LeBron James could take the New York Knicks to the NBA Finals. Like, this is basically what he's doing. Della Dodova looks like Progiani, and then you have Amon Trumpet and J.R. Smith. He's basically taking a New York Knicks team to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but I think these guys are better than, obviously are better than
He's got the same guy. That's what we're talking about. J.R. Smith is J.R. Smith. Amon Trumpet is Amon Trumpet.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the one thing about J.R. Smith, if you go back and look when he played in New York, when the team did well, he played well. When the team didn't play well, he lost interest and just goes through the motions.
I'm just saying.
How about that move by Amon Shumpert, by the way?
It's the same. Without Kyrie Irving,
look at that,
this is the same
why
team.
are you doubling LeBron way out there to leave Shumpert wide open?
Your point is okay, but your point is way off base. LeBron gets guys involved, and they're in rhythm when they shoot.
No, look, I'm
that's
saying
why
that's how great LeBron James is.
Shaq, there goes another example right there. They're doubling LeBron in the corner.
He's not even looking to make a move.
I mean, these guys would get in the water.
Double.
That's ridiculous right there.
Can't do that.
Della Dodova for 3. They would go 12 for 30 from deep while holding the Hawks to 6 for 26.
You got to be able to make baskets. And that's the key. I don't care what you do. You got to finish those type of layups in the playoffs. And, the concentration level just was different for the Atlanta Hawks. And they finished here for Cleveland Cavaliers.
I thought when they announced DeMarre Carrol was going to play, I thought it was going to be more energy, more passion from these guys. They played with no energy tonight.
I was just, like I said, I'm just waiting for Spike Lee to come in the front row.
LeBron with 30, 9, and 11.
And that was the right
One
double
rebound
right there.
shy of a
that's what he does.
You only double him when he gets to in the paint.
Exactly.
I'm not doubling him out on the floor. And like I said, Ernie, if I'm Kyrie Irving, I'm not playing until June the 4th.
NBA Finals?
NBA Finals.
I mean, it's funny because we watch LeBron walk off this court. As we watch the highlights, we're not really watching. But he walked off and was waving to the fans like he's never coming back here.
Well, because he's not, unless he's coming back to see Usher.
Okay, he's in the performance. Kevin Hart has a performance in June, too.
That look kind of tells it all. And boy, the Hawks were getting banged up too. Horford missed a little time in this game. So did Kyle Korver.
And the Cavaliers aren't?
I'm just talking about guys who left during this game.
Okay.
94-82. Again, not indicative of the way Cleveland blew out the #1 seed here in Game 2. They win it by 12. LeBron James going for 39 and 11. Shumpert goes for 16. Dellavedova 11, and Kyrie Irving not playing in this game. And so here's the, in a nutshell, the series for the Hawks. Their first back-to-back home losses this season. DeMarre Carrol playing, Kyle Korver rolls the ankle. But you know, from
good news for the Hawks, though, Ernie.
What?
They can start resting up Wednesday.
They are 10 for 49 from deep in this series, and you continue to wear it.
I'm going to wear it because, you know, a lot of people try to compare LeBron to Mike, but he's more like Magic.
Yes.
He's going to keep everybody involved, and, you know, he knows, he listens to, we're going to double, he does this, and he's waiting. You know, he's not even making aggressive moves towards the baskets. And then, you know, not only that, Atlanta has no pressure. Kenny, when do you let a guard go?
Never.
No pressure, Ernie.
Yeah.
He's like, you over here. You over here. I'm going to do this. Come set a pick. Go to the – they come. Defense comes. Dummy defense comes. He kicks it in the corner for 3.
Do you think it's too much respect? I remember, this is what I'm asking.
Listen.
Remember when you were in the NBA Finals against the Houston Rockets and you said you might have gave Akeem too much respect. Do you think because they're doubling him all over the floor and in areas that he's not can score or make a play, do you think they're respecting him too much?
I think they are, but you know the term pick your poison?
Right.
He's a type that, you know, that really doesn't apply to because he's one of the few players who's ever played this game. He's going to get his no matter what. You could double, triple. When he puts his mind to it and says, I'm going to get 30, I'm going to get 30. But if you double him, that's what he wants to do first. Oh, Chuck's in the corner. Chuck's a great three-point shooter. Here you go, Chuck.
You know, you look at guys, Magic Johnson, LeBron, they'd rather have 12 assists than 30 points.
Exactly.
I can't think of another player like an all-time great.
Penny Hardaway was like that, too.
But he's not like Penny Hardaway was a terrific player, but I'm talking about like if you talk about the top 10 players of all time, Magic Johnson and LeBron, in my opinion, they're top 10 all time. Those are the only guys I know would rather get 12 points than 30 points.
Cleveland wins it by 12. David Blatt.
12 assists, excuse me.
David Blatt standing by with
when you guys
his
really made your
post-game
run.
assessment.
What can you say about that asset or that facet of his game?
You know, I got a good vocabulary, but I'm sort of running out of superlatives for that guy. You know, I'm gonna let you think of some. You're the writer. He's just, you know, he's just a great basketball player. You know, everything more that you would add to that is probably better than I can say it.
Coach Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Have you, I mean, I know, of course, you haven't coached a player like LeBron, you know, when it's your first time.
Not many people have, Joe.
But have you seen someone who has that kind of ability to almost completely change how they're playing within the course of a game? Because if you think about it, in the first quarter, he was kind of going back through the post and scoring the ball. In the second quarter is when he started throwing it around all over the place.
Well, and, you know, if you ask LeBron, I'm sure he would answer this way. Part of what he is doing so well has to do with his teammates reacting and responding, you know, to him in the proper way, you know, and certainly his greatness is evident, but the other guys are completing him, and that's what you want from a team, and that's what you want from a team that plays with such a great player. You know, they got to position themselves properly, they got to move properly, they got to finish the plays, they got to recognize when and how to get him into the situations where he can do what he does or he can help them do what they do, and I think our guys have grown together with him during the course of the year, and they really know how to play off him well.
Cleveland Cavaliers hold the Atlanta Hawks to 82 points. And That matches Atlanta's low water mark for these playoffs of 2015. 2-0 Cleveland. Back with more after this. We all love us some Bleacher Report.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. I got Auburn football, Auburn basketball. That's all I got. Bleacher Report.
We love Uninterrupted.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
need to come to the Kenny Smith basketball camp.
From time to time on this show, you'll hear from LeBron James and from Draymond Green. The search has begun. TNT setting out to find the best dunker on the planet, the Dunk King. It's going to have all-new reality competition series coming to TNT during next year's Western Conference Finals. The Dunk
be doing
King,
the conference finals?
Yes, it will offer amateur ballers the opportunity of a lifetime, it says here,
I know a cat.
to make
I
the
know his
leap
name.
from obscurity to celebrity and win a cash prize of $100,000.
I know like two guys that's already
that's part of our company. You think I got a chance? If I come out of retirement, can I win?
If you dunk, I'll give you $100,000.
It's not the touch the rim.
Yeah, if you dunk, we both give you
$100,000. Yes,
if you dunk, we'll give you $100,000.
One try, one bounce,
I'm
boom.
gonna pass on that. I hurt myself.
Good idea. Hey, you've been watching the Western Conference Finals?
Of course. Hey, listen. First of all, let me just say this.
Say it.
You want to say it before or after we hear from Lewis Johnson?
No, I want to say it beforehand. Some people really make me sick in the media.
Okay.
For anybody to try to blame, I saw all these fools on television today trying to blame James Harden. It goes to prove to me they know nothing about basketball.
See, that's a perfect way to lead into Lewis Johnson. Now you want to watch for sure.
Well, frustration was obvious for James Harden as he left the court. Now he and his Rocket teammates have less than 48 hours to figure out how they'll get this series back on track when they get to Houston.
In these type of situations, you just got to come out and make sure you take care of the little things. Right. If you look back at our losses in this series, we've made minute mistakes that have cost us, and they've made us pay. So give them credit, but to our advantage when we go home, understand the game plan, execute the game plan, and be aggressive.
We're really confident about what we have going on. We let two slip away, and so now we go back to Houston, and take care of business at home. Just because we're going home doesn't make it easy, So we got to just go out there and compete the way we've been competing, but being smart and not giving up those easy buckets, and we'll be all right.
How do you keep this momentum as you guys get to Houston?
We really have to go in there and play better. I don't think we played near as good as we can play here. But, being at home kind of covers up for that a little bit, and you make a couple plays down the stretch we've been able to do, and it saved us. But going into Houston, we have to play better.
We had plenty of opportunities to win both of the games, so we have all the confidence in the world. They won 2 on their home court.
How does the close game dynamic change when you get on the road in the playoffs when it's this big?
Oh, man, it's way different. Sometimes they usually swing in the home team favor. So, we have to know that and try to do whatever we can not to get in that position. However, I think we got the most clutch player in the NBA in Steph Curry. So if it does get to that point, it's probably who we're going to.
In Oakland, I'm Lewis Johnson.
All right, so we know how Charles feels. How do you feel about the last possession for Houston?
I mean, there's nothing else you would have do. You're in transition. Harrison Barnes misses a layup. You got the best transition basketball player possibly in the league other than LeBron James with the basketball. This is what you say. I want James Harden with the ball there. He just didn't stay in the middle of the floor like he typically does. Even when he got it back, it's just a great defensive. It was just a great defensive play at the end. I just thought if he stayed in the middle of the floor like he typically does, you never would call a timeout in that instance because that would be the worst timeout in the history of basketball to give.
No, you've got Golden State right where you want him. You got a great downhill player.
In transition. But he got 2 guys on him. What's he going to do? And what's really weird, if you ask to know anything about that, when he passed the ball to Dwight should have took it.
Drove.
Yeah, it should have made it. Took it to the weak side because what was weird about the play, he threw it back to James. And Clay and Steph never moved. I mean, anytime you would pass the ball to a guy on the other side of the court, no 2 guys would stand there. They had made up their mind James Harden was not going to score, but that was nobody's fault. You just take your hat
off. James Harden had remember the 1982 James Worthy effect when you just see a guy running, and he just thought that it was a shooter that would be trailing the play.
But it was the right basketball play.
So even if Dwight comes over and sets a pick after he does, but James Harden didn't have to give it up. That was the mistake, just not giving it up, but not calling a timeout.
But you
or
know
doing
what?
anything like that.
But you know what?
I have
Good
no
thing
idea.
for the Houston Rockets, they're not intimidated because they believe that they could have won both games. So they're comfortable going back home to Houston. And but you know, Jason Terry, my man, makes a good point. We got to play more aggressive. We got to have fun, and we just got to execute.
Me and Ken, and Jason Terry, if you guys don't ever pay attention, he is the most positive dude. We call him the postcard.
Yeah.
And Kenneth says, "Are they up to?"
Exactly.
We've got to execute.
We are right there where we want to be.
there.
Well,
But you know the other thing, Ernie, I think this will tell. You know, they've been screaming Clutch City too, and even I've been posting it. When they won that game in last series, I was like, that was heroic type efforts on a basketball court. This would be Clutch City too. They need to come back, and this would be a mark. And I know NBA TV on June 8th, I believe, has the Clutch City movie coming out.
way to slide the promo in there.
It is?
Very effective.
Well, I didn't make the movie.
Yeah,
you know,
And
I'm
before
sure
you
I'm
watch
just
the
letting you
promo,
know.
go to 7-Eleven, get some of that Soda Shack.
Oh, you can go to CarolinaBasketballCamp.com and come to my camp.
Or you can go to Walmart, get you some of them Shaq shoes.
Or you can just go on demand and meet the Smiths and watch it.
Or if you fall in after you watch Meet the Smiths, get you some icy hot. Man up.
And you know what?
If you
ran
want some
out.
cereal,
I ran out.
I'm on the cover of the Fruity Pebbles box.
I ran out.
Team Fruity, baby.
I ran out.
Man up.
You may think,
out.
you may think you're already watching Shaqtin' a Fool, but no, it's actually coming up after
Oh, it's
this
next.
break. We will return.
Oh, my goodness.
That is going to be tremendous.
That was
Eight-part
funny.
CNN original
That was
series
hilarious.
premieres on Thursday night, June 11th at 9 o'clock Eastern and Pacific.
Yeah, satire on real
in the
life
70s,
issues.
You know, Aaron, what's so interesting about that? We all grow up on shows, and Good Times, Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons. Man,
What's happening?
what's happening?
Hey.
Little Rascals.
Oh,
Tom and Jerry.
well,
Dude,
this is about the
stop
70s.
Bugs Bunny.
This is CNN
Dude, stop it.
special.
Road Runner.
Yeah, okay. Look, while you're on a roll, why don't we do
All right, let's do it. Give me a beat.
Shaqtin' a Fool.
Playoff edition, Kenny.
It's Shaqtin' a Fool.
What?
We Shaqtin' a Fool.
Grandpa Ernie.
It's Shaqtin' a Fool.
Yeah.
We talking 70s.
I need a nap.
Number one, Uncalled Travels. The Uncalled Travels continue to happen. How many steps do you count?
About 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Come on, man. Come on.
Here we go again.
1, 2.
That was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and fall back. Oh, there's more? 1, 2, 3.
Nice feet work, Noah.
Come on, Joe.
Oh, my God.
Is that a record?
That may be a
Giving his
record.
way all the way to the rim and
Playoff record.
Number two, Al Horford thinks this little itty bitty basketball is going to hurt him.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with you, Al?
Mama, don't hit me.
Shying away from.
Number three, Chris Paul. This looks something like Kevin Hart would do in a celebrity game.
This is funny. Oh, my God.
Get off my back, Kevin.
Let me get a rebound.
Hey, I tell you what, Chris Paul is the best leader in the NBA, man.
Number four, Paul Pierce. No high five for this Wizards employee. The truth hurts. I don't know you, man. Beat it.
Oh, wow. Come on, man. Just one doubt. I can't
don't
get
know
that.
you, cuz.
I
Beat
can't
it.
get that. I can't get no doubt. Not seriously.
And number five, me. After years of putting everybody else on blast, Ernie finally sets me up.
Oh, my goodness.
You got to get off of that,
Ernie
man.
set me up,
You
America.
got to get off of that.
Yes,
I
he
had
did.
nothing to do with that.
Ernie set me up. He wrapped a quarter around my leg, and
Wow.
there it is.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, we know what? We were concerned that you could have really
Don't
hurt
be
yourself.
concerned. I went to stuntman school. Like
No, that ain't stuntman school. I like the bed. I want to see the bed.
Hey,
I want to see the bed. Oh, my
We
goodness.
got to see the bed. The one that. Here it is.
Night. Shaqtin' a Fool.
we're up here 30 feet now. I'll jump off right now.
Oh, don't
Say I
do that.
won't.
Shaqtin' a Fool.
Please don't.
Say
Say I won't. I'll jump off
Put me
right
in
now.
your wheel and I'll let you try it.
So, hey, there's a special coming up.
That's right.
Another
Shaq-
one.
Shaq in the
What are you celebrating now? The 77th episode?
God, 77, 23
Every time you turn around, there's a new Shaq in the Fool.
Do you have to, in your contract, you have to be in every commercial and everything on every channel?
I don't have a contract. I'm just section.
June 10th at 8:30.
There's another Shaq in the Fool finale.
If you miss that one on June 10th, there'll be another
23
one on
more
June
shows.
11th.
I'll be
I'm
syndicated.
Sure.
I'll be like Good Times in Sanford and Son around here.
More post-game reaction to Game 2 when we come back. And we welcome you back to Inside, presented by Kia. Lance Fresh takes a look at the best playoff looks and trends in this edition of NBA Style, presented by Samsung Galaxy.
Hey everybody, it's Lance Fresh, and I'm here at GQ with the style editor of GQ, Will Welch, and we're going to talk NBA style, some of our favorite looks we've seen throughout the playoffs. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now we have LBJ, LeBron James.
His style has evolved at like a really organic pace. He's wearing leather jackets and looking kind of mean. And in playoff season, I like that. The thing I love about Chris Paul's style is he wears streetwear and he wears it really well. And what makes it cool to me is he does it like with a little bit of an old soul, like something your cool uncle would wear. And you really see that reflected in his personal style. And that to me is the sign of somebody who knows what they're doing.
This look made a lot of noise.
James Harden to me has crazy style. He can get away with more because he's got this signature look. That's awesome to me. That's confidence. That's personal style.
Why do you think the NBA has embraced fashion so much?
GQ are big fans of the NBA, first of all. One thing we saw a lot at GQ is men in general, not just NBA players, being totally cool, talking about style. And so there was like a natural, organic synchronicity there.
Any new trends you see on the horizon for players?
We see in the fashion world a lot of designers doing plaid and double-breasted suits. So I feel like we're going to see more of that from NBA players.
For more NBA style clips, log on to nba.com/style.
Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals here on TNT tonight, and the Cleveland Cavaliers win it by 12. They go up in the series 2-0. LeBron James had 30. So that's 6 times in these playoffs that he's gone for at least 30. He also wore a mic tonight, as did Al Horford. So here are some inside tracks.
Biggs, run wide. Y'all running and filling in the paint. Run wide and get out. Good job, White. Good job. Good job. JJ. Catch JJ. Double T. JR, go. Bump down, JR. Go. Bump down. We take that. We living. We want to drive right. And then come back left at the end. Under. Double T. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Oh. You gotta put a do not disturb shirt on or something. You got a body first, has the point of the screen open. Let's go, keep shooting, boy. Hey, I got your back. Hey! Come on, man. That's too easy.
If you don't hear anything, you're on your own, all right? I'll let you know if it's a push when you guys guarding LeBron.
You got Bazemore. Schroeder. You got Schroeder. You got Mac. Win the quarter, win the game. Win the quarter, win the game. It's all about momentum. Don't give them no momentum to game 3. Right now. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the birthday present.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday again. Baby, won't you come my way? I told you I got your back, G.
Thanks, though.
Baby, won't you come my way?
Man, I'll tell you, the things that being a point guard, this is what I appreciate. Those are the things that most of the time your point guard is saying. Without Kyrie Irving, you said Chris Paul is one of the greatest leaders. Those are the things that he would be saying. Jason Kidd. Those are the things that point guards have to say. As soon as guys check in the game, you say, okay, I have him, you have him. You just reiterate things that guys already probably know, but when you say it again, it makes them lock in. And LeBron James was the point guard tonight, and he had everybody locked in.
We'll have one more comment on this, but first let's hear what the Atlanta Hawks had to say about this loss, their second straight on their home floor.
Bright side is we haven't played well in the first 2 games, so and we still think we're the better team. So give them the road here, try to get 2 up in Cleveland.
This is not a place you've been all season. What do you fall back on as you try to go to Cleveland and get at least 1 win?
Our track record speaks for itself. Being the more in the East, we're there for a reason, and we get back to what we do. I mean, it'd be a lot different if we were playing well and still getting our butts kicked. But we haven't played well yet, so that's the bright side of things.
I understand it's a make or miss game sometimes, but is Cleveland a better defensive team than they were during the regular season? And if so, what makes them better right now?
Yeah, I definitely think that at least, in these 2 games, they've shown an ability to defend and do things at a pretty high level. And we do need to make some shots when we're open, but, I think they're just I think it's going to be important for us to screen better and ultimately get guys open, get people, get penetration. And, that's the challenge of the defense. They're making it difficult. So we'll see if we can be better.
All right, 3 teams in best of 7 have lost the first 2 games at home and still come back to win the series. One of those was your Houston Rockets team, and you beat Chuck. But are you seeing anything, Charles, out of this Atlanta team that would suggest they could join that company as teams that lose the first 2 at home and still win the series?
No, because that team had Akeem Olajuwon. He cancels all the flaws in your mistake. You have to have a beast that can't be stopped, and he caused everybody to circle around him. The Atlanta Hawks do not have that guy. The Hawks are in trouble. They're going to get swept, plain and simple.
It has been, you talk about the offense of the Atlanta Hawks. Amazing. They've had 1 30-point game this year. That came from Paul Millsap back in November.
Yeah.
And so they don't have that guy like Cleveland has that you can say, please go out and get me 40 tonight, because it's just not going to happen.
I'll try to remember the mentality that we were in when we were down 0-2, losing 2 games in Houston. I think the mentality more or less comes from, we did so many things well that all we have to do is continue those things more. I don't know what Atlanta could say they've been doing so well, and that's all we have to do. Here,
well, that's what Kent Bazemore points out. He said the good news is we haven't played well, which I understand what he's saying, but
no, meaning now you have to abandon your game plan.
Yeah.
So we had a game plan that was working, and all of a sudden they came back, I believe, twice, and we had big leads, and they came back and they beat us. But there's a reason you got a big lead. So there's been no big lead. There's been nothing that you can say this pick and roll just consistently worked. So now it's an abandonment of the game plan and come up with a new one, which is different. So I've never been in a situation with they're in right now in terms of the Atlanta Hawks.
You got the last word there, Biggin.
Can they win 1 game? Maybe, if a couple of shooters just shoot light out.
Want to bet?
Will they tie up the series? No, never. Cleveland.
Come on, man. You don't think they can win one, man?
No,
Hey, I have no
don't
faith.
either. Yeah, me neither. And Cleveland's mentality is the mentality of most teams. They have home court advantage. Let's get 1. They got the first one. They said, okay, now we're loose. Let's try to get the second one. They got this second one. I'm anxious to see if is Cleveland going to have that killer instinct. And I think they do. I think they're going to try to end this series so they can get some rest.
Killer instinct
and
was
get
shown
ready
tonight.
for that. Yeah, you're right.
Tonight was killer. Today was been a game where you
and I think they're going to get ready for that June 4th.
There's some blood in the water in this series.
Yeah,
that's
no
for
question.
Sure. We'll come back to wrap things up here on Inside in just a moment. It's going to be a Nito sealed with a kiss. Timothy Moskov.
Chilling in the stands.
Got the MCM bag rolling.
Moskov, let you come my way.
Aerial coverage is presented by Goodyear. Power forward.
We need to get some Goodyear stuff.
You get that? Power forward.
Power forward. I got it.
Like a basketball thing. By the way, it's that time.
Can you do this whole segment Jason Terry style?
Time for EJ's Reno Satellite Night. Presented by no one.
Oh my
Ernie, your own
Unsullied
hometown.
by sponsorship. If you were watching our show on Wednesday, game 1 of this series, it was a truly emotional moment late in that show because there was a woman who wanted Shaq's autograph or just wanted a picture taken, and Shaq obliged in the middle of the show, and it brought her to tears. This was a huge moment for her and heartwarming for all who were watching. That was very special, and I thought that was great by you.
You don't know why she was crying. I'm just letting you know. That's all.
What happened was she was trying to get a picture. Security told her no, so she started crying. I have kids.
Yeah.
I have daughters, so I'm weak. For my daughters. And she was a young lady, so.
Well,
I'll take the picture.
Apparently, some people saw that happen, and now look what's happening. We have a line forming here. People who would also like to, again, see if they could get Shaq's.
Of course, come on.
Look at the emotion.
Yes. Come on, baby. Come on, mama.
So sad.
Come on, mama. Come on, baby.
So sad. Look at
that.
Yes. Look at it.
That is bad.
Who else is in line?
That is so bad.
Kevin is here too.
Here you go. Come on, baby. I know. I love you too.
Bad acting. That is so bad acting. That is so bad acting.
Not you. You get out of here, Kevin.
That is such bad acting.
Look at Kevin.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is the worst. You guys are the worst actresses ever. Catch yourself, don't fall over now.
You kiss me, America.
Kevin, man.
Kevin, your lips are too rough. Be gentle, Kevin.
Overacting.
Be
the operative word here.
Be gentle, Kevin.
You're too rough. We're hitting the road tomorrow for Cleveland.
I kissed a boy and I liked it.
We'll be back We're going to be in Cleveland at the Q. We'll see you on Sunday night for Game 3. Yeah, call us. We need an Italian restaurant.
Dominique rolling over in his grave right now.
See you Sunday.